The night Kane was thrown out of Adugu's house was the night everything changed. He wandered the streets, barefoot and drenched in rain. He was hungry, scared, and heartbroken. His mother's cries still echoed in his mind, but he had nowhere to go. His father's family had long rejected him, and his mother's poor relatives could barely feed themselves. For days, Kane slept under bridges, sometimes begging for food, sometimes working odd jobs to survive. But through all the suffering, one thing never left his heart: his mother. He promised himself that one day, he would become someone great, someone who could take care of her, and make her smile again. Years passed. Kane grew into a strong young man, determined, brilliant, and disciplined. Life taught him resilience. He worked as a bus conductor, later as a trader in the market, saving every naira he could. He refused to let pain define him. One day, a wealthy man who owned a construction company noticed Kane's intelligence and honesty. He took him in as an apprentice, trained him, and sponsored him to study civil engineering. Kane studied hard, graduated with distinction, and later started his own company. In just a few years, Kane became one of the most successful young contractors in Lagos, known for his humility, generosity, and wisdom beyond his years. People called him Engineer Kane Obi, the boy who rose from nothing. But despite all the success, one thing still burned in his heart: finding his mother. 15 years had passed since that night. Nkasi was older now, her beauty softened by sorrow and time. She still lived with Adugu, but their marriage was long dead. Adugu had lost most of his wealth due to bad business and arrogance. The same man who once boasted about riches was now struggling to feed the family. Nkasi stayed, not for love, but for her daughter, Chisom, who was now a teenager. One afternoon, as Nkasi was coming back from the market, a black SUV stopped in front of her. A young man stepped out, tall, confident, well-dressed. He looked familiar, but she couldn't recognize him at first. "Good afternoon, Ma," the young man said softly. Nkasi smiled politely. "Good afternoon, my son." Then he looked at her with teary eyes and said, "Mama, it's me." Kane, her basket fell from her hands. For a moment, she couldn't breathe. "Kane," she whispered, trembling. He nodded, and before she could speak, he dropped to his knees and hugged her tightly. Nkasi broke down in tears, holding him like she never wanted to let go. "My son, my Kane, I thought I lost you forever." People on the street stopped to watch. The scene was too emotional. Mother and son crying, holding each other after 15 years of pain and separation. Later, Kane visited the same house where he had been chased away. Adugu came out, shocked to see the young man in an expensive car. "Kane," Adugu muttered. "Yes, it's me," Kane said calmly. "The boy you threw away like trash." Adugu bowed his head in shame. His pride melted. Nkasi stood beside her son, proud yet teary. Kane didn't come for revenge. He came for closure. "I forgive you," he said quietly, "but I will not forget what you did to my mother." He turned to Nkasi. "Mama, you're coming with me. You'll never suffer again." Adugu tried to speak, but Nkasi simply said, "I stayed because of my child, and now he has come for me." Kane took his mother and sister, Chisom, to live with him in the city. He built a beautiful house for her, not out of pride, but love. Nkasi finally lived in peace, surrounded by the comfort she once only dreamed of. Sometimes she would sit on the balcony, watching Kane leave for work, her heart full of gratitude. She often whispered, "God, I thank you. The stone that the builders rejected has become the cornerstone." Moral of the story: a mother's love is stronger than pain, poverty, or heartbreak. Patience and resilience can turn tears into triumph. And no matter how life treats you, never give up, because one day, your story will change.